clearly, I'm not going to ask you a question like number 4. We never talked about that, and I never asked you to read about it. I don't remember when I devised this problem set, but certainly question 1 would be fair game. It's not hard to do. Question 2, because we didn't really do anything with sufficient statistics. We didn't talk about the Blackwell theorem and things related to it. So question number 2 wouldn't be fair game either. And I guess I probably wouldn't ask something like 3, even though it's more in the nature of a learned result or a learned known factoid. So we just didn't spend enough time on it.
Did you put on there something like, I have a deck of cards and I removed all the aces?
You're thinking of Laura now, huh? You're trying to torpedo you. What?
Is there any color to it?
What's your favorite chapter in the green textbook?
Oh, gosh. I can tell you what are my least favorite chapters.
What's your favorite?
My least favorite chapters are the ones on nonlinear regression. So you don't have to read those.
I just say that they're like the most important concepts.
What's the most important concept?
Yeah, concepts. Like,
what are we in the business of doing?
Hypothesis.
That drives everything we've talked about. How can you test hypotheses if you don't know the properties of your estimator? How can you test hypotheses if you don't know where to find appropriate test statistics and their properties? That's the whole semester in 3 sentences. So we had a garden variety model. We covered a lot of basic statistics in the first half of the semester. We had a garden variety regression model, and then we talked about violations of the assumptions that I wrote on the board. And next semester, we'll consider some special, or whoever teaches Econometrics 2, there will be some discussion of what happens when there are special circumstances around Y, like binary or multinomial response in Y, or some more discussion about the ARIMA modeling, or what else am I talking about? Or special error covariance structures, like panel data. Suppose we have a cross-section of time series. Suppose I observe each one of you for 52 weeks. And so that implies some very special things about the behavior of the error covariance matrix. So we could talk about that. But from this point forward, all you're doing is taking the basics and saying, well, what if this is slightly different in this fashion? And then I think probably if I had to pick out topics that I thought were, at this stage, the most interesting, they're topics that I talk about in the spring. I think they're really neat. The really interesting things going on now in econometrics are non-parametrics, quantile regression, kernel regression, those kinds of things. But that's another semester.
So you're not teaching part 2 next semester?
Yeah. I'm being put out to graze.
Are you mad that game theory is being taught by the accounting department rather than?
Is it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. It's our own fault in the economics department if that's happening. I'm amazed because there aren't any game theorists in the accounting department. I know they've hired Rajiv Banker because he thinks he's an economist, and they hired a new guy who started in September who's an economist.
That's the guy teaching game theory.
Well, he's not a game theorist, but he wants to teach game theory. Is he teaching game theory to graduate students?
Yeah.
Wow. I'm stunned.
He used to teach game theory.
For the undergraduates, P. Montaris is the star. And he used to teach game theory for the graduate students in the PhD BA program, but they couldn't do the work. So there was a parting of the ways. He's a really smart guy, but he can be a little rigid about certain things. Anybody else? What's the title of this accounting course?
I don't know, I can email it to you.
Yeah, if you would, I'd be interested to see it. Because I know they're also in the market for hiring, either in accounting or finance, they're in the market for hiring their own econometricians. They want to build their own economics program back into the School of Business, even though for years they argued with us about whether or not they needed any economics at all. That's econometrics. Play hard, study hard, get good grades.